Hey everybody, this is Roberto Blake. Welcome to another session of channel reviews. We are live here. It's a late night Friday night. We've got 2 channel reviews up in the queue. We're probably going to do maybe 5 to 10 of these tonight. That's probably going to be our upper limit. So what we do is we get together on Fridays every week and we do these live channel reviews. I've reviewed over maybe 5,000 channels publicly in my lifetime over the last couple of years. I think we've been doing this since maybe 2017, something like that. That is what we're doing here. And what I'm going to do is I'm trying to give each creator a piece of advice that is immediately actionable for their channel and can help them improve. We're going to also compliment them on something they're already doing well, because it's important to know that you're not doing everything wrong and you're doing something right, and to get encouraged there realistically though. And then also something you need to change immediately that's probably hurting the channel. So we usually do these based on super chats. The rules are in the description. We've got the mods in the chat as well, holding everything down. So thank you to our wonderful mods. And we actually already have 2 that were holdovers from last week's session. So we're going to try and make sure that we do those reviews. And for that, we have those channels queued up. So we're going to make sure that we get Cozy Diaries and As Promised for channel reviews this evening. And if anyone else is submitting super chats for review, we will make sure that we get to those tonight as well. Also, some housekeeping updates for you. We do these channel reviews with help from our sponsor for the live streams, One of 10. This is a great website and a great tool for you in terms of doing your YouTube research. This is something that we actually did a live demo of last week. We'll probably do a demo here again. We checked out its actual AI-based title generator, and we actually got some really good advice on videos we could do around the DJI Mic 3 and the DJI Mic Mini. It also gave us some thumbnails in terms of thumbnail generator for a photography channel. So again, really great tool. So make sure you check out the folks over at oneof10.com. If you use code Roberto at checkout, you get 20% off. So they've hooked us up with a fantastic discount code. So thank you to One of 10 for sponsoring the channel reviews. So we've got that out of the way. Also, remember, if you're interested, you can check out my book, Create Something Awesome, How Creators Are Profiting from Their Passion in the Creator Economy. You can get that on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Target, and anywhere books are sold. If you enjoy it, please make sure you leave a review. We've got almost 200 reviews on the book, so really thankful to you guys for that. But make sure you're checking the book out. Link, of course, is in the description. Also, thank you to the mods for getting that out. All right. So let's see here. In terms of also some YouTube updates, I'm going to be at the Made on YouTube event on Tuesday. I cannot, based on embargo, tell you what is coming, but I will say that the future of the platform looks very bright. We're going to get some of the best changes and updates to the platform in every category that we've ever gotten. And so I will make sure that after we get all those things on Tuesday, I'll be live tweeting on X and telling you about the new updates. I will be interviewing some other creators while I'm there in New York. I might even do a New York vlog while I'm there for the channel members to see that. We might even post it on my other channel. And then hopefully I'll be able to get a little soundbite or snippet from YouTube CEO Neil Mohan while we're there. You know, he's always been great. Every time I've talked to him, he's been super generous with his time. And so, yeah, we've got a lot of updates coming to the platform as of next week, September 16th. So look forward to those. YouTube will never be the same. They're going to be announcing a ton of great stuff, and I cannot wait to share it with you after Tuesday morning. So definitely looking forward to that. All right. Let's see. We've got a couple of chats here. Let's go ahead and get into our first review since we have one queued up from last week. So let's go ahead and look at the As Promised YouTube channel. So this YouTuber is As Promised. Interesting pun on words. Channel banner is not bad. I do like the profile pic a lot here. I feel like the channel banner background could have a little bit more going on, or at least have the schedule in it. I don't think you need the social media icons here if you're going to have them as channel links down here. I think you might as well just put the schedule and what your channel is about so people understand it. You got 7,000 subscribers with less than 300 videos. Nice. Looks like some of those are shorts. It's my mission to provide fun, exciting entertainment through my informative and funny videos and live streams, whether you're a casual player wanting to just have some fun or professional gamers looking for competitive action. As promised, has something for you. Okay, great. So tell us what the channel is about. You don't have a strong layout here. The top of the layout has your community tab post. I think that this could go further down. What people are expecting to see are videos. It looks like you have videos, you have reactions, you have all this other stuff. So you might as well lead with that. Let's take a look at the actual videos here. Thumbnails are not terrible, but they could definitely be better. I would lean into closer to, even though you do the video games genre, I'd recommend leaning into the genre of thumbnails from heavy spoilers. So with heavy spoilers, if you look at the branding for the channel heavy spoilers, I think you should lean into thumbnails for the gaming side that are like what heavy spoilers does for the movie side. And I think if you do thumbnails that are more like this, but for the gaming side, that it will perform much better than what you currently are doing. From a posting frequency standpoint, I actually think for growth and for game coverage, I think you need to be posting 2 to 3 times a week, if not more. My advice to you to keep up with that schedule, because it sounds like a lot, is to consider filming your videos in more of the commentary style, even if you're going to have footage and you're going to also react to stuff and you're going to do commentary. Do it in the commentary style. Film with your OBS setup. You're already a gamer. Film with your OBS setup and record, and then do a bunch of the stuff back to back in real time. Have the footage and do most of the work through production in OBS. Then just clip it in OBS. Then you have to do little or no editing to get the videos out. And then it's actually not difficult to get videos out on a near daily basis. And you'll have more videos to test and to perform and see what is working and what is not. You also then can A/B test thumbnails more often and get a sense of what's working, what's not. This could dramatically increase the views. You'll be more on time to things, because if you're going to do a lot of update videos and gaming commentary, timing is everything. So, you know, for example, you've had things before that have popped off probably because of timing, and you did a reaction here a month ago, 4K views, very good. Another one 2 months ago, 3. So imagine if you were able to get out things that could do this, and if you were getting stuff out every day, you'd have so many shots in a week to have a video pop off that you'd probably do well. And if you're doing all the production in OBS, you're not fighting a quality versus quantity thing, because you'd be maintaining you'd be maintaining the quality anyway. So that would be the thing. Also, you are saying you mostly do lives and shorts. The shorts are doing really well for you. What I would recommend is considering a short strategy, especially if you're going to do clipping. If you're going to do clipping for the shorts anyway, I actually, in gaming, what I've recommend for gamers that I coach is a 3 to 5 shorts a day, if not a 5 to 8 shorts a day, shorts blitz strategy, especially if you're focused on one game or one type of game. In your case, it's FPS games, Battlefield, Call of Duty, so on. Warzone. So I say that 3, believe it or not, shorts are bulk. Shorts are a bulk play. Shorts are not a one-to-one play with regular YouTube videos. They are absolutely a quantity play. And again, if you're doing gaming commentary, that's a quantity play. People are coming for commentary and gameplay, not necessarily for editing. So use OBS to negate the need for the editing while still having some production and not being boring or static. So you use OBS for that and you use that strategy. So this gives you live streams because you could do the live to tape for the whole thing. This gives you shorts. This gives you VODs. And so this allows you to also do that in bulk, which allows for being the go-to destination for anyone who cares about the niche. If you build everything around doing higher level OBS production, this will also help you streamline quality as well. So what you'll do is you'll want to master things like your layouts, because if you master doing really high-end layouts for OBS, then you've done it once. Also, honestly, you need to improve the front lighting on your face for the streams in general, and that will help balance it based on your skin tones. You probably need to have warmer light and more light on the front. Probably can use a 2-light Elgato desk setup, or if you need to do it more affordably, you can get the Elgato Key Light Minis, get 2 of those, and just put those on your desk with a cheap tripod type setup. I would say that for shorts, mixing in informative shorts with gameplay and doing 3 to 5 of those a day is ideal. So yes, I think you can mix gameplay into the short strategy if you're going to do 3 to 5 a day or 5 to 8 a day. Remember, that's the kind of recommendation I have for the shorts is 3 to 5 a day or 5 to 8 a day. And if you're doing live streams and commentary, what you could do is if you plan to do 2 hours of streaming, I don't think you need to go necessarily 4 hours, but if you do 2 hours of streaming and you do it multiple times a day, multiple times a week, let's say you did it daily, or even if you did every other day and you did 2 hours to 2.5 hours, and you do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, for example, or maybe you do it more often than that. Maybe you do it 3 to 5 times a week for the streams. You'll have a lot of footage to be able to get for your shorts, to be able to do 5 to 8 shorts in a day. You'll have enough to do daily videos as far as VODs cut up from this. So it really streamlines your production, and it reduces you to a very minimal workload per day or per week. So the hours become reasonable, because I understand most of you guys still obviously work a 40 to 50 hour week, 9 to 5 job. The strategy I'm suggesting would have you probably streaming. Let's say you even did it every day, or let's say you did it Monday through Friday. If you were streaming Monday through Friday, you would stream for about 2 hours. No one needs to stream for 4 hours. You could stream for about 2 hours. You could do an hour to 90 minutes of commentary, and then of like actual commentary and news and footage stuff if you wanted to. You could do like an hour of gameplay, and then you'd have enough of both things to cut up, to have footage and to have what you need to farm your footage. So you'd have more than enough from that. And then if you're using clipping tools, like if you use Opus Clip, for example, shout out to our friends at Opus Clip. I will drop you guys an affiliate link for Opus in the chat. You could have Opus automatically clip the streams for you, pick selects, and then you could still edit them, but at least the clipping part would be done for you automatically. Then you could spend like an hour or 2 doing your clipping, your posting, really work on your thumbnails, and then you'd be getting content out. So you'd reduce this whole process to like 4 hours to have like every format you need and have multiple videos around this per stream. So that would be the production process behind doing a channel like this and being multi-format, because a channel like this can be multi-format. And again, it's the bulk that would grow you, because you just have more opportunities to hit. It also means that when you want to cover news and updates, you'll be able to turn all of that around faster, much, much, much faster. So that would be ideal here for you. Also, you want to make the titles unique, and you want to make the thumbnails unique for live streams. Don't make them throwaways. Don't treat this like Twitch. Treat these like YouTube videos for the live streams. Don't treat it like Twitch. For the shorts videos, again, doing the bulk shorts blitz strategy for doing bulk. Don't overthink it. And a lot of stuff you might think, oh, I don't think this will be good or whatever. The community might actually like it. So by posting enough of that, it's okay if some of them don't perform. You'll have enough outliers. If you do 5 to 8 shorts a day, you'll have enough outliers overperform to where you'll have all the data you need to make sure that everything is something the audience wants after a while, because you'll just get feedback faster. So this speed ramps feedback. Same thing for clipping from your streams and producing VODs for the regular videos. Just make sure that the thumbnails are much tighter. And like I said, for the thumbnails, take inspiration from the thumbnails for heavy spoilers. Just do them for gaming, and this will still work. And these will be more attractive thumbnails than what you're doing. Face and thumbnails is optional. What you could do is A/B test thumbnails with your face, A/B test thumbnails without your face, and that will be fine. As for games, what works for my gaming creators that I coach has always been when you make content for new and returning players to the games, that ends up attracting the largest overall audience possible. Primary example of this is a creator I coached, Obdude. Again, weird spelling, but it's Obdude. He plays Clash of Clans, which is having a heyday right now. I remember coaching him. He had like 4,000 subscribers. He was pivoting from Clash Mini, and so he's a Clash Royale channel. And like he does extremely well, as you guys can see. His videos, even with very simplistic videos, they work. Why? Because every single video he's making is something a new player to the game or a returning player to the game could want to watch, and all the videos are evergreen, and he's basically farming the whole game in this way. And so any new and returning player can watch his content and be satisfied with it. And then he does a short strategy as well and does really well with that. His live streams are exclusively members only. Not recommending that for you in this case, but that's another way he's heavily monetizing this, is he has a strong community from the live streams. So that's why when I coach gaming creators, my strategy revolves around a lot of these concepts. And that's how it tends to work. So that would mostly be what my recommendation is for you in terms of even video ideas, is to prioritize what would be appealing to new and returning players, in addition to covering news updates on your primary FPS games. And again, I would double down on the kinds of things that your community already responded to. And again, you'll have the ability to cover news reactions faster if you use the OBS strategy that I'm talking about, so that you don't have to worry about crazy editing and you just do everything in production. And do it live to tape, basically. So that's the main thing here. So again, I think that the channel has potential, but like I said, I gave you what I think is some of the best advice when it comes to growing a YouTube channel for gamers. Also with the shorts, with making 5 to 8 shorts, you'll want to also repost these to TikTok. That way you can double your money by posting to TikTok as well. Another interesting thing is if the shorts are not all news updates and their gameplay and some of it's evergreen and information, if the information's not outdated, in 3 to 6 months, because no one remembers what TikTok videos they watched, you can really upload these again to TikTok and monetize again and double the money yet again. So advice there. Also, for those of you doing shorts, if you have 2 devices, you might as well make 2 TikTok accounts, never log into them on the same device, have 2 different TikTok accounts, and literally upload the same content to 2 TikTok accounts and double your monetization on short form content on top of your YouTube shorts. Again, this is a super hack. Not all of you will like it or think it's, the right thing to do, but if TikTok's not going to really protect you from content thieves, you might as well pirate your own videos and monetize them twice. So that's just my tongue-in-cheek suggestion, but real talk, it actually works. So as promised, that is my channel review for you, as promised. And ultimately, I think that this is a good strategy for you that will help with all the issues with consistency. I think it helps with live stream, shorts, and long form VODs all together for what your thing is. Again, most people, when it comes to gaming content, not really there for over edited content. They really just want the gameplay and or the information. I say that as someone who, again, I rarely game anymore. I'm 41, but when I do it, especially super late at night, I'm just looking for information or quick tutorial. I'm not worried about someone's fancy editing. I'm not worried about memes. I don't care about any of that nonsense. I just want the information or to see the gameplay and the walkthrough. Like, for example, I finally decided to finish the last 2 boss fights for Metroid Dread recently because Prime 4 comes out in December. And I also just don't like the fact I was literally just like 2 boss fights away from finishing the bloody game. So when I wanted to look up something, I literally just wanted like a 5-minute video on how to go through the 3 phases of the final boss fight and how to beat Ravenbeak. And now I know how to do it. I still am struggling on phase 3, but I'll probably just get it over the weekend. So when I watch like a gaming channel, I just want the information or the gameplay that I want. I want to get in and out. I don't need fancy editing for that. You can do everything you could possibly need to for your gaming audience in OBS. Some of that is what you're doing anyway, so it already works for your workflow, and it sets you up for your live streams, your shorts, and your VODs, all in one simple thing, lets you be consistent and lets you be early to the news update videos that you need to break out, get massive views, grow subscribers, and be relevant. So that's what I would say for you. From the thumbnail strategy standpoint, again, we're going to steal from another niche. We're going to borrow from another niche, take inspiration there, use the kind of thumbnails you see on heavy spoilers, but apply them to gaming. And I think that that will massively perform better than what you're currently doing. You should A/B test thumbnails, try a set with your face, try a A/B test with your face, without your face on every single video, see what the audience responds to more. So those would be my tips. There's everybody who's watching this. You can tell me in the chat if you agree with me, if you would do something differently. If you're watching the replay, let us know in the comment section. But hopefully you found this helpful. All right. Actually, I meant to do the air horn, not the applause. So that would be my review for As Promised. Looks like you felt like that was good feedback, so fantastic there. Need to turn on the fan there. But yeah, hopefully you found that super helpful. Yes, the A/B test still only measures watch time, but that's the most meaningful metric to YouTube, by the way. But also from a response mechanism, I know a lot of you care a lot about CTR, click-through rate on A/B testing, but I wouldn't worry about it because by YouTube telling you that it's focusing on watch time, it means that whatever's getting more watch time would give you more impressions. And so then as far as that, you want to know that your video is resonating with the expectations that's set for the audience from a thumbnail standpoint. You know, so that's the thing. So that would be, that would be my thought. Maybe YouTube will give us A/B testing data that includes click-through rate. Let's see. Watch time does have the CTR embedded in it because if the viewer didn't click, you wouldn't be getting the watch time. So this blew my mind when I thought about, yep, you're right. Larry from Home Rapid Repair, you are correct. That's a very good point that, so yeah. Yeah, no, it's a great angle ultimately to think about it from. I do community post 5 days a week. Do you think it's a good idea to help the channel? I think it helps the channel for reach and engagement more than people would realize. And I think the way you could use community tab post is one a day or 5 days a week. And I think that there's several ways you can do this. One, if a video is converting subscribers for you, promote it in the community tab to get it more reach, to get more views, to turn more of those people into subscribers. Or if a video is making money, absolutely promote it. Another thing is you can run polls for your community, and that can help you get a sense of who your viewers are. So that's also helpful. So the interactive components there. You could also use it to promote things. I wouldn't bother with mostly promoting my other social media. I would promote something that makes me money, like my merch or an affiliate link or something I'm selling or Patreon or whatever. I think I'm going to use a crude analogy here. When you promote one social media platform to grow another one, it's like meeting someone at a bar and then bar hopping, bar hopping, bar hopping instead of taking them back to your place or whatever. And then doing whatever there, because, and it's a crude analogy, but hear me out. It's that the winner in that situation is the bars. So when you take people from social media platform to social media platform to social media platform, the social media platform is the one benefiting from it. If you're going to take people from a social media website and take that traffic anywhere, it should be the place that benefits you the most and lets you have the closest connection to the audience. That's not another rented land social media website. It's take someone from a social media website to your Patreon or to buying your merch. It's a crude analogy, but it works. Like, why would I, take somebody from one bar to one restaurant to one bar to another? It's like at that point, you're just benefiting the bars and the restaurants. It's they're the winner in that situation. So it's the same thing with your social media. Like, you should be able to take people from your social media back to the thing that gives you the closest connection to them and ideally turns them from a casual viewer or fan into a customer. So, yep. So again, crude analogy, but I think the analogy works. Another analogy is in the restaurant analogy. Oh, do shorts hurt my long form videos? It's like if you have a restaurant and you sell burgers, but that night you have a bunch of people come in and they're just popping back Dos Equis, does it really hurt you? Because it's all going in the same cash register, right? If it's all going in the same cash register, what do you care if you sell a bunch of beers instead of a bunch of burgers? So you got to think of it from that perspective as well. So if you had a restaurant, you're not really that mad that, yeah, you fired up the grill, you're really proud of your burgers, you fired up the grill, but are you really that mad that you are selling Dos Equis hand over fist and that these people are running up a huge bar tab? The money's all going in the same register. So again, simple analogy, a little crude, but it works. So next up we have Cozy Diaries. I think this channel is actually really interesting, so let's check this out. So we have Cozy Diaries. Hopefully they're in the chat watching this. Gentle vlogs about everyday life, homemaking, seasonal resets, and finding joy in the little things. I love this about, and I like what this stands for. I love that what it does here is it says when to expect the videos. I always like when there's a schedule like that. Very nice thumbnail aesthetic here. Very consistent thumbnail aesthetic. Definitely sells the cozy vibe. One thing I would do slightly differently is I would use a harsher drop shadow just to make the text readable and make it stand out. I'd also make sure that you are just fully committing to a consistent font type here. And I'd probably lose the decorative font. I think that you don't need that for diaries. I know that it looks cute, it looks soft, but it's not readable. So again, I would just stick to the singular font and I would just use a harsher drop shadow. I'd also stop positioning this text in a way that runs into the timestamp because that's not helping anything. So I would just always position the text at the top in this case, or at least away from the timestamp. Very strong videos. I think the videos that are around minimalism and decor clearly do the best for you. Um, Definitely, the IKEA and Amazon stuff stands out, and you can easily find viewers for that. The seasonal stuff is interesting, but it doesn't seem like the seasonal stuff hits as much. I think part of the thing with the seasonal stuff not hitting as much is you need to, from a thumbnail standpoint for the seasonal stuff, the soft aesthetic is nice. It's just that you probably need the packaging to, in fact, be different. But these views are fine, more than fine for a channel your size. There's no downside to any of these views, really, for a channel your size. In fact, also with the limited video experience, these are largely performing to overperforming. So I would say that these are in good shape overall. Organization videos, decor videos, cleaning videos obviously clearly do well for you here. Um, I'm surprised that the tiny apartment video didn't do better, but I would argue that it's more of a packaging issue. I do think that the thumbnail here could have been stronger. Um, it's not a terrible thumbnail, to be honest. It's just that it could have been stronger. Consider experimenting with A/B testing thumbnails with different angles and also going medium shots versus wide shots and see what contrasting those in A/B testing does. And I would say that there's not a thesis for which thing will work with that for every video. Also, I think more of these videos that are before and after style videos, as far as a thumbnail, will perform very strongly. So it's possible that for things like the reset video, that a before and after thumbnail probably would do better for most people because it represents a transformation. So I might have done that, or I would have at least probably A/B tested that one when it comes to this. Let's see your short form. Short form is hit or miss for you, and I think that's because these might theoretically represent um, vlogs. Consider doing I would consider doing a sprint of daily vlogs next month if you can, and doing daily vlogs broken up in YouTube Shorts across posting 3 to 5 videos as part of a daily vlog series per day in the month of October, if possible, for YouTube Shorts, and doing that and seeing if that boosts interest in the overall channel and boost channel performance, because I've actually seen that work for other creators. This could also definitely help you on um like TikTok and on YouTube and on Instagram. So I would say from that standpoint, there's not a downside to doing that many pieces of short form and doing that vlog like content there. And I do think it would benefit you. So that's something I think you could look into for the short side. Hmm. 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 If you have a high performing, more recent video, I would update your featured video to be something more recent than a year ago. You used this one from Vienna because it was high performing. I would say since this IKEA one and Amazon is from 3 weeks ago, I would make this the featured video on your channel that people are seeing. I also think it would be worthwhile for you to use your community tab more often. I would say once a day, to try and use the community tab in some meaningful way, because you barely use it. But this is a very strong start to a channel, with a balance of very good quality content. Obviously, from a consistency standpoint, I would say from a consistency standpoint, I would like to see you posting once a week if possible, if I'm being honest. And I think that that would also dramatically improve the overall channel growth, because I think that it's hard for people to commit and subscribe when it comes to consistency drop-offs like that. You're getting views, but I think it's harder to secure the commitment from those views because you should have more subscribers. You're not doing bad. When I say you should have more subscribers, I mean you get enough views to qualify for more subscribers. But I think what hurts you is the consistency, and I think everyone underrates consistency. Minimum consistency cadence for YouTube, even quality content, is still once a week. So as a minimum. So I would do that in this situation. And I would also supplement, like I said, by trying to do maybe 3 to 5 shorts a day if possible. And there are ways to do that without compromise here, because shorts are so hit or miss for you, you might as well do more of them. So that would be what my thoughts are here for Cozy Diaries. I also think, again, if you do less edited, less polished, but IRL vlog content for the shorts, and you do a blitz of that in October, where you do daily shorts, 3 to 5 shorts a day, and a daily upload series of vlogging your life, I think that that will work. I strongly suggest you explore trying to do that. For a lot of you, a sprint like that could actually be really good depending on your content, especially if you do vlog-like content. So those would be my thoughts for Cozy Diaries. But again, what do you guys think? Do you agree with me, disagree with me? Again, I think it's a fantastic start. I like the soft aesthetic. I think there are some things to tweak with the typography, the drop shadow, the positioning of the text away from the thumbnail. I think A/B testing transformational thumbnails that have a before-after complement element, or A/B testing thumbnails that have a medium shot versus a wide shot, because that's more contrast between the two to get a definitive winner in the test. So those would be the thoughts I have. But what do you think? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Let me know in the comment section if you're watching the replay. Let me know in the chat if you're watching the live stream. And boom, we've got another one. So that was Cozy Diaries. So we got that knocked out. We honored our previous reviews. We got a question in the chat. Terry W says, Roberto, question. Do you have past recent videos that give some direction on what should be in a featured video and what should not be? I'll give some direction, because I actually don't have a video that covers this. We've got room for, by the way, 3 to 5 more channel reviews if people want to get in on those. We've got room for 3 to 5 more tonight. So one thing I would definitely say when it comes to that is I would think about what my goal is when it comes to a featured video. So a featured video for non-subscribers would usually be it would be the thing that would have to turn new viewers into subscribers. So if you have a video that has a high subscriber conversion rate, let's say, right? It's, oh, this one's definitely getting me subscribers right now. I would feature that video if your goal is growth. If your goal is money, then your featured video is a video sales letter that is turning casual viewers into customers. And so it'd be based on what your goal is, and that's how you would position your videos. If you are doing a featured video that targets existing subscribers, because you have the option for that as well, you know, if you have the section of featured videos that's for subscribers, well, they're already subscribers. So then, in my mind, the video that you're putting there for subscribers probably is something that I would say could sell to people that are already familiar with you. So featured video for subscribers definitely is, in my opinion, a sales video of some kind. For non-subscribers, it's a video that converts people into being subscribers. And so then that's your pipeline and your funnel. And so that's my opinion of what videos should be featured videos. So hopefully that makes sense. Yes, we do have links for coaching. If you guys want to go to awesomecreatoracademy.com/coaching, you could find my offers for one-on-one coaching there. I've coached over 700 creators. We have the Awesome Creator Academy Pro Group membership for group coaching, where we meet privately twice a week. We have, I think, something like 90 people in the pro group. We have a bunch of people that show up to the office hours that rotate through. The people who are in different time zones and can't come to the 2 office hours a week still post in the private group, and we give them feedback and make sure everybody gets a question answered there, no matter what. So we have that. So those are some of your options there if you want to check that out. Yeah, Doug Houston is the most goated mod in the world. Absolutely. Kenneth asked, what lens am I using? For this one, which one is it? This one is the 14 millimeter G Master, but it's on a crop sensor body, the ZV-10. So that would probably make it the equivalent of a 30 millimeter. This camera A is a 35 millimeter lens, which on the crop body probably makes it the equivalent of about a 55 millimeter. So those are the lenses I am using for the live stream. Yeah, we've got about like 3 to 5 slots available for people who want them, because we did 2 already. Is that good minimum vlog material? 3 shorts, at least 1 long form. Yeah, I would say 3 to 5 shorts a day, 1 long form a week minimum. 1 to 2 would be better for long form in an ideal world. In an ideal world. But again, not all of you have the time. A lot of you are working class creators. You work 40 hours a week, 50 hours a week. But in an ideal world, here's what happens. In an ideal world, you post 3 to 5 or 5 to 8 shorts a day in an ideal world. And you post 1 to 3 videos a week in terms of long form in an ideal world. And you go live 1 to 2 times a week in an ideal world. If somebody's a commentary channel, they do much, much, much more than that. But for everyone else, that's probably about the right cadence. If you're a gaming channel and you have a streaming pipeline where you can do your gameplay, you would do your, if you're a gameplay channel, you stream and do your gameplay, your commentary, your ladder pushes, your matches, whatever you're doing. You do your matches, you film, you stream for 90 minutes to 2 hours. You clip that, you do 5 to 8 shorts a day off of clips, and you do whatever your cadence is for long form. As a gamer, probably optimally, to be honest, as a gamer, 2 to 3 uploads a week. If it's mostly gameplay, you could probably stage your live streams if you're streaming daily anyway, which is what I would do if I was doing the gaming stuff. I'd stream daily or stream Monday through Friday or whatever, take my weekends off, and I would do the streams for 90 minutes to 2 hours, get enough footage, make clip 5 to 8 shorts a day. This is what most of my clients that do gaming are doing. And then if I want regular long form videos, I wouldn't obsess over editing, because the audience is a gameplay / personality audience. I could do all of that in stream and just clip it, maybe do some minor editing if I need to, or have an editor do it. And then I would post as much from that as is reasonable. My big thing with the regular videos is it's not a quality over quantity thing. Views are not based on quality. They're based on how good the thumbnail, the topic, title, thumbnail, and timing is. So it's about value for the viewer. And again, the value proposition for a gamer is, if you're a good gamer, you can do everything off of your quality gameplay and off of your personality. I mean, you don't really need crazy editing for that. That's been proven over and over again. The other thing is other types of channels. For vlog channels are more cinematic, more aesthetic. For vlog, cinematic, aesthetic channels, um, it's one cinematic vlog a week, two if you can. But for short form, you could do three to five authentic, more raw YouTube short style vlogs with your phone or something like the Osmo Pocket 3, and you could do those more personality driven vlogs in short form as YouTube Shorts and put 3 to 5 of those for storytelling and do a daily vlog through Shorts, but also double dip that over to TikTok, possibly even Snapchat, and monetize there and then triple the money. If you do Instagram Reels as well, you can grow a massive audience off of doing that, and then you get the ad revenue from that, potential brand deals from the Instagram side. So it's really an opportunity. And the thing is, it doesn't have to be more work if you don't overdo the editing for the short form. If you keep the short form down to being planned, thoughtful, and authentic, and do storytelling more than you're worrying about editing, and you just do the editing that matters and keep it minimal, you can do that from a vlogging, storytelling, short form. It already is working on TikTok. It's already working on Instagram. It's already working on Snapchat. So this is proven, and it does work for people on YouTube as well from a narrative short form vlog thing. It's basically old school OG YouTube. People used to watch this anyway. They would and again, you can do the short form storytelling because again, it could be a minute, it could be 3 minutes, and then it's these put together vlogs, and it's in vertical, and it feels very raw, very relatable, very authentic. It doesn't need to be overly polished. The weekly cinematic vlogs are for that. And so you do that 1 to 2 times a week. And so that's how I would approach this. And when I say daily, I'm kind of meaning Monday through Friday. It could be 7 days a week, but I'm kind of leaning more toward a Monday through Friday thing. Question, Roberto, how important is B-roll in educational talking head videos? And should the B-roll be screen shares and animations or something else? So learning even from people like Dan Coe, it doesn't have to be over the top for B-roll. If you look at Dan Coe, Alex Hormozy, what's more important is that when it is time to show something as an example, that you're showing a relevant example. You're putting a stat out, you show the stat, you are referencing a case study, you show a visual of the case study, you are referencing an article, you put the information for that on screen, whatever. For information content, the value is the information. You also have to assume that people are watching educational content unless it's tutorial in nature, meaning unless it's a demonstration of executing something. If it's demonstration of executing something, it might as well be a screen recording, or it might as well be a hands-on procedural tutorial for the B-roll demonstrating the process. But if it's just purely informational, you should assume that people are just listening to it in the background anyway. Patrick Bet David on Valuetainment, when he does the Valuetainment stuff, he doesn't use that much B-roll. He uses just enough of it. He does most of it in his intro anyway. So I would say that unlike entertainment, you can get away with maybe 5 pieces of B-roll per minute, or 5 pieces of B-roll and animated text per minute of information in an information-based education video. I don't think it needs to be every 3 seconds. Every 2 to 3 seconds is more of an entertainment thing, and that's usually when you're catering to a younger audience. You can also get away with education content if you literally just do camera switching. If you literally just do camera switching, and then you're just not static for anything more than, say, 5 seconds at a time, you could just use camera switching every 5 seconds and just be animated when you talk and avoid the need for as heavy B-roll, and then combine that with good enough B-roll 4 or 5 times per minute. So then, quote unquote, roughly every 10 seconds. And then that would be enough B-roll for people to not get visual fatigue, assuming they're even watching the video instead of listening to the video. So for education content, that would be about right. Identity MF says, "Hey, bro, thanks to you, I'm starting my short splits, 3 shorts per day this weekend. Fingers crossed." Yeah, hopefully it works out. Share the data with us when you get it. Home Rapid Repair says, "Hey, Roberto, I thought about the Meta glasses for step-by-step how-to, but currently it only shoots vertical video." So for step-by-step how-to, Larry, in your case, consider instead of the Meta glasses, since you could just put on a hard hat anyway, just get a strap for something like the DJI Action Cam 5 or something like that, and then just strap it to that, and then you can get a POV shot that way. You could also do a POV shot with something on your chest by strapping that in, and so that would be an option for you to do a POV shot. So you could just go with that instead, Larry, and that would work for you in most cases from a production standpoint. I'm hoping eventually we get something that has non-vertical like the Ray-Bans. But here's the thing, for the Meta Ray-Ban glasses, Larry, you could use that for POV procedural stuff for doing YouTube shorts that are quick hacks. For use that for POV for quick hacks for YouTube shorts to show a step by step that will require less editing, showing a step by step in vertical for a YouTube short up to 3 minutes. Just do it for something that's not as intensive, and then it makes sense. And you can do them in bulk because they're not as intensive, so you can use it to mass produce your YouTube shorts. Yeah, congrats to Doug Hewson on hitting 10K, closer to 12K now. Yep. Yeah, I prefer very nice depth of field lenses. A lot of my lenses are f1.4 um, you know, lenses. Let's see. WayOfService says, "Hey Roberto, Claude AI just did a research project and told me that I should subscribe to your awesome Creator Academy." Oh, nice. Claude for the win. Yeah, I've actually been doing a lot of stuff with AI recently. I know a lot of creators have their feelings about AI. I just look at it as any other tool. People used to hate on Photoshop, believe it or not. I'm old enough to remember that. I was a graphic designer for a very, very long time, many, many years. People used to say Photoshop wasn't art. Now it's all the digital artists that hate AI. Technology is always demonized. I've learned that. Now, there are some genuine concerns. I'm concerned about deep fakes, for example. I'm concerned about the deep fakes more than anything. Less than I'm much more concerned about deep fakes and how that'll be weaponized than I am about like AI art or AI replacing content creators. I think that really good content creators won't be replaced by AI slop. I think AI slop only really hurts people who know that they don't make good content and can't compete with it. So I'm not really particularly worried about it because I do not think that AI can provide a personalized experience for people. It obviously cannot provide a curated community of people when you want to get into the curated communities of memberships, Discord servers, things like that. It cannot genuinely build the personal connection that a personal brand does. And obviously, proof of human is becoming more important to people in the content they consume. They want to know who they're consuming from, how whether those people share their values or not. They care about those things. So I don't think that AI slop hurts the actual genuine YouTube community, creator community, or even the community of viewers. AI slop is just for people who are consumers who don't care about what they consume. it's just like junk food. I don't think the existence of Burger King hurts the existence of Longhorn Steakhouse in any meaningful way. I think that they are different uh, types of consumers. They're different types of consumers. So I actually don't care about AI slop or AI content, and I don't really see it as some big net negative because it's like I don't think it provides the value. There are niches where it's gonna make people upset because they're niches that were just AI slop competes with human slop. So I don't know why we need to care about it. So that's kind of like where I am on that. Um, People say stuff like, well, it hurts video essay channels. I'm like, not really good ones and not the ones that people care about. And then again, what is the video essay channel providing? If it can't compete with the AI slop, then it's not providing enough value. So, as harsh as that sounds to say, that's my feelings on AI. I feel like it's just a tool. It's only as good or bad as the people using it, like every other tool. Creators who use it to their advantage will thrive. Creators who allow it to become a liability and to not outcompete it will not thrive. And so, like I said, my restaurant analogies, yet again, Burger King doesn't hurt Longhorn Steakhouse. They are completely different consumers for the most part. And then also consumers have taste. Sometimes you want a burger as quick and cheap as you can get it. And sometimes you want to sit down at a restaurant, at a bar, have a wonderful service staff, and be waited and catered upon. It's a completely different experience. And I mean, take this live stream, for example. AI can't give you the experience that I'm giving you in a live stream. It's proof of human. It's personalized. It's me saying your name. It's acknowledging your comment. It's me thinking on the fly. And it's our private community. It's our public private community of the chat. It's your favorite people in the chat. So it's you. It's the community that you have in terms of at least that public slash private curated community. It's proof of human. It's personalized with me dealing with you directly. And you also are coming from my personality and my personal brand. So an AI cannot compete on those four vectors, and those are the only four vectors a creator needs to compete on. And I think that the people struggling with that are the people who can't compete on those vectors. They're not providing those things. So that's a different type of value. So it's not unreasonable or unfair if someone who's a consumer is getting what they want out of the AI. There are things I consume that are great to consume from AI because the person was just doing their research and study off of a Wikipedia thing and reading it and performing it for a history thing or a video essay thing that I was listening to. Okay, the AI can do that just as well. Or they were struggling to find good footage or B-roll for this thing. The AI generated B-roll looked cooler or better animation. So from a consumer standpoint, sometimes I can be better served in some niches by an AI from a creator that was struggling to provide those things to a degree of quality anyway. So those so that's how I feel about it. There are people who can make themselves hybrids of AI and be human and interject their personality and use some of the benefits of AI to cut down their production time and make better quality stuff faster, more affordably than they can waiting for a team member overseas or what have you to get back to them, different time zones, yada, yada. So there are smart creators who are hybridizing AI. I think those are the creators who probably have the most advantage because they're getting the most out of the machine and the most out of the human and getting more than either can deliver on their own, which is probably the right combination, if I'm being honest. So being the man-machine hybrid is probably the right creator solution. But a lot of people are still reluctant to embrace that and to admit it. WayOfService says, yes, that's what I do, hybrid and work with AI, not having it replace me. Yeah, I mean, even with my writing, AI doesn't do my writing, but AI helps me formulate my writing because I will write the first draft of something and AI will revise it, or I will state what my thesis is, and then AI will give me some research or some genuine examples for my thesis with content creation. Primary example is I did broke down a thesis that I've been working on for part of my second book around a and there was something I wanted to demonstrate visually. In fact, I'll see if I can airdrop it to myself and I'll show you guys. But if you follow me on X, you've already seen this post. And excuse me, if you follow me on Instagram, you've also already seen this post. But I was trying to put together kind of a visual diagram in my mind of, and also a way to communicate this idea of, there are four types. There's three types of creators plus a hybrid of that type of creator from a business standpoint. And then it creates these sub hybrid versions, these sub hybrid variants of a creator business model as well. So what I did was, let's see here. Trying to find it. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Let's see. Show in Finder. I want to show you guys this graphic. I just need to find it. But ultimately what it is I put together like this Venn diagram thing, right? And because I put together this Venn diagram, well, actually I put together this Venn diagram based off of an idea that I articulated when I was working with ChatGPT, and it was giving me feedback on this idea I articulated. So then I took that and then I went into Canva and I made a Venn diagram off of it. But the idea and information came from working out my thoughts with ChatGPT as an AI to just kind of sort through my thoughts and like, okay, here's what I'm thinking, or okay, what would expanding on this thought look like? And so it helped me just refine an idea that I had, but it was off of my own draft, off of my own writing. And then by refining that idea, I was able to present it to myself in a way that said, okay, I'm going to visualize this now and I'm going to turn it into a Venn diagram. And so then I was able to do that. And it came out really good. Why am I struggling to find... Let's see. Send copy with airdrop. Yeah. It should be... should airdrop to my Mac Mini. And then I can show you guys. So like the idea here, the thing I'm trying to do is I'm trying to, okay, here it is. Finally. Sheesh. So now I should be able to share it on screen with you guys. And then we'll do the super chat we just got to. But yeah, I want to show you guys this image. Image file. Yep, here we go. So, and actually, do I have a... here we go. Great. This is exactly how I wanted it to look. Okay, great. So, creator business models. You have the entertainment based influencer, the lifestyle niche influencer, and the educator slash thought leader. And so these are three different business models, but then they create four hybrid business models of overlap. So you could have someone who's an entertainer who also is a lifestyle brand. You could have an entertainer who also does education, aka edutainment. And you could also have an education and lifestyle based channel. I'm actually trying to somewhat, some people kept trying to convince me to be an edutainer. I don't want to be, but I do think I could technically be an education and lifestyle channel in terms of the lifestyle of both tech lifestyle and entrepreneurship. I think that there's a good intersectionality for tech and entrepreneurship and a little bit of art slash creativity there from a lifestyle standpoint. So I think I can do that in terms of a little bit of lifestyle and a lot of education. So I could hybridize that. But a true hybrid would be all three. intersectionalities. So I basically made this Venn diagram based on that. And most people struggle to find their market fit. And so this was what I put together to help people understand themselves. So an entertainer, influencer basically has a media business. And so as a media business, they are literally making their money purely off of content plays, purely off content plays. So what it looks like is ad revenue, fan funding, possibly a Patreon for community content, sponsorships. It's all just media plays. If they stop making content, they basically stop making money. So it's a pure media play hustle. And that's what just doing straight up content looks like, right? But then you have people, for example, an example of this is most of your gaming channels. A lot of this is your sketch comedy people. So again, pure prank channels, pure media plays, right? Then you have lifestyle niche influencers. So someone like this can spin off a direct consumer brand like Chamberlain Coffee, Emma Chamberlain. This could be a vlogger. This could be somebody like Taylor Bell. This could be who arguably is more of a hybrid between education and lifestyle. Same thing for Vanessa Lau. She's pivoted to being education and lifestyle. So you have someone like that that can spin off a direct-to-consumer brand for coffee or a direct-to-consumer brand for boba tea, or you could look at somebody. I would argue you could put Ali Abdaal somewhat into this, and he spun off a stationery brand, for example. But he also has courses, and he has potentially a software product I think he did at one point. So that makes sense, someone like that. So it could be, so that's like what a education lifestyle hybrid looks like. Education entertainment, I would argue you could look at the Game Theorist channel for something like that, and you could look at game theory, film theory. You could look at things like that. You could look at, I would argue, Magnates Media is another example of entertainment education. So Magnates Media. So those would be examples of some of these hybrids. Very hard to qualify some true tribrid channels. Closest to like a true tribrid channel might be the overall brand of Marquez Brownlee MKBHD, between the autofocus channel, which is the automobile tech channel. So you'd have that, the regular MKBHD channel, their studio channel, plus the Waveform podcast. I would say his brand holistically makes him a tribrid in terms of that. So that would be another example. Another example of entertainment influencer overlap is probably Colin and Samir. A true crime podcast is probably just an entertainment play in most cases. Some people can make it a hybrid. So again, these would just be examples, but this is just like to demonstrate a visual, a very, very clear visual of like the creator business model thing. But again, this is an idea that I wrote out myself in detail, and then I workshopped with ChatGPT to refine it. And like we made a spreadsheet that helped me qualify some of these things and put things into columns and ideas to articulate it. And then I took the information, synthesized it in my head, and then I made my visual based on this idea. So that's an example of good uses of AI to help you do your manual content creation and process more effectively, more efficiently. It's really good for feedback when you don't have anyone to bounce ideas off of. So again, I use it more like that than anything else. And so, you know, that's what I think just kind of makes sense for creators to do things like that. So hopefully you guys all got something from that. We have another channel here for review. So we have a request from Soulful Feminine Oracle. Requesting channel review. I have a very new channel that does intuitive oracle readings. Okay. So we have Soulful Feminine Oracle. So this does readings and reflections for the soulful woman. Very good branding visually here. Really great banner art. Solid, readable profile pic. If someone's going to do text, this would definitely be the approach and way to do it. Welcome to Soulful Feminine Oracle. I'm Kristen, an Oracle reader. I would skip the welcome part and just go, I'm Kristen, an Oracle reader, intuitive guide. Yeah, and I would just go with that for the first line. But this is also fine as is since it all reads in one line. Let's see. You're new. How many videos have you made? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15. So you've made 15 videos. Have any of them popped off? 15 videos. None of them have popped off yet. And then the other 24 videos are going to be shorts, it seems like. Have any of those popped off yet? Shorts have not popped off yet. I would say 3 shorts a day if you can pull it off. 3 shorts a day if you can pull it off. Kind of a breakfast, lunch, and dinner type situation for the shorts. And then for your regular videos here, it looks like... I don't think you found a format yet that works for... It doesn't look like you found a format yet that works for these videos. Let's look at 1 of 10 and see if there's anything that's getting significant views. So here are some ones. Let's do a filter. Let's run the filters to look for some outliers among smaller channels under 20K. And let's look for videos that are getting at least 1K to 120K views in the last 3 months. So we'll filter for that, apply our changes, and see if there's anything in the Oracle niche that is popping off for smaller-ish channels. So there are a couple outliers here, and I would say more celebrities, if you're going to do them, around movies and celebrities having movies coming out yet soon. Seems like that will work. So that, as well as controversial figures, clearly. So there's a way to make that work. And then it looks like using urgency and timing also works from a title standpoint. I'll be honest with you, the bar is low visually. Visually speaking, the bar is very low for channels in this niche. I'm going to move the filters up to bigger channels a little bit to see what is performing with bigger channels and see if the quality bar for at least presentation and thumbnails is any higher. So here is what it looks like. It looks like the bar for thumbnails is extremely low in terms of the quality standard for thumbnails. So I think that given you do have strong aesthetics, it's just a matter of how you present them. A primary example is you've had at least a couple of videos break out, and they were around like more famous people. So it's smart to lean into that. I do think that what you could do You said that She Still Speaks videos, which does oracle readings on missing and unsolved cases of women that have the most views. I actually have an angle for you then. Lean into a little bit of that true crime element. Lean into a little bit of that true crime element. But from a branding and visual standpoint, Kimberlea, who was one of the first channel reviews I ever did, she used to be in a different niche. She was one of the first channel reviews I ever did on the channel back in 2016, almost a decade ago. We've been really good friends since, and she's great. We see each other at some of these events and conferences. So she does true crime. Here's the thing. This is a good way to find potential leads for stories that people still care about. But then also from a visual standpoint, in terms of the quality of the visuals here, if you can do high quality visuals that tie together, if you're going to do a missing persons type deal, the true crime element from this, instead of just these very flat thumbnails, if you do more of that, and it doesn't seem silly to me. If it works, it works. If people like it, they like it. There's a niche for this and everything. True crime is the biggest growing niche for women in terms of viewership right now. It dominates female podcasting for true crime stuff, so you might as well. Is if there's unsolved mysteries, true crime stuff, do oracle readings on the true crime stuff and the missing persons, and you could source from true crime channels like Kimberlea for things people are interested in terms of who are victims that they care about and are still invested in. Choose those people. That's a good source to say, oh, this will get views. And then from a quality standpoint, up the quality of the thumbnails on that level. You don't have to steal that style, but you do stuff on that level to where it's less plain and where it has the true crime visual element. And now you get to combine two things and hybridize them. True crime / missing persons element with the oracle reading, and therefore people are emotionally invested, and they'll also come back for updates as well. And you also will be able to prove that these are videos that people will be interested in, which also could help you with consistency of putting out videos. And so I would actually pivot your oracle readings to that specifically, as well as controversial figures that are in hot water or controversial figures that might be in danger. So that would be my thought here. And I think hybridizing that could just give you this different direction that could overperform for you between outlier research. I mean, a primary example would be if we go into 1 of 10 and instead we go with these same stats around true crime. Boom. Solve or watch this. Unsolved crime. Boom, we can immediately find things people really care about, and the numbers here are, substantial. Missing persons. Again, significant views. Even with bad thumbnails, people really are invested and care about this. So then you'd be able to reverse engineer this into significant views on your channel if you do high quality thumbnails, and then you target these people of interest, and then you do the oracle readings around that. People really are invested and care a lot, especially a female demographic. So looking at your channel, those would be my recommendations. Again, shout out to our friends at 1of10.com. That tool really helped here. So I think that would actually work out really well for you guys. But what do you think, everybody? If you're watching in the chat, let me know what you think in the chat. If you're watching the replay, let me know in the comment section. But what do you think? I think combining the intersectionality of missing persons cases and using either existing true crime channels or using a tool like 1 of 10 and finding out what people are invested in, which cases they care about, then combining that with the oracle reading would be able to accurately be a predictor of potential views. It's evergreen content. People are investing in it, and I think it can up the aesthetic value as well. And so I also think it helps with the consistency. So that would be my thought. But what do you think? Would you do anything differently? Do you have any different advice for this creator? Let us know in the comment section if you're watching the replay. Let us know in the live if you're in the chat. Yep. And so another one down. We're chugging right along. That's 3 for 3 now. And again, I think the channel has potential. I just think that this pivot in direction and being consistent there and weeding out the other content, I think that this works. Thank you, Incentive Collection, for the $10 super chat. Appreciate you. Thanks so much. We also have WayOfService with a $20 super chat saying roast me. We don't really roast people, but we will give you some thoughtful advice here. Tough love if and where it's needed. I think we do have another slot open. Not going to do super late night tonight, but I think we have another slot open. I think we can get in one or two more besides WayOfService. So if there's one or two more people who want to get in, I think we can fit them. Thank you to everybody watching. Between all of the streaming services right now, we've got 380 of you watching, which is tremendous. I really appreciate it. The average content creator cannot get 10 people to watch them streaming. In fact, if you got 10 people to watch you streaming, you'd be beating 90% of creators. If you get 50 people to watch you on streaming, you'd be beating 99% of creators. Most people don't realize that because everyone's watching the 0.1% who are getting thousands of people to watch them, tens of thousands of people to watch them, and everyone basically watches the same 500 streamers when they're live, so it all consolidates to the top. So again, if you guys are trying to get into streaming, that's the numbers. It's like, don't get discouraged if you only see like 10 people watching you or in chat, because that would beat like 90% of people. 90% of people cannot get 10 peak or concurrent viewers on stream. 99% of people cannot get 50. And between all of our 6 streaming platforms, we've got 380 of you watching live right now. I think over on YouTube, we've got 60 of you watching live right now, which would put us in like the 1%. So again, super appreciate all of you. Also, if you haven't already, smash the like button. Help us out with that on whichever platform you're watching on. But yeah, we know a bunch of you are watching probably over on X right now specifically, because we've got X, LinkedIn Live, Facebook, Twitch, Kick, and YouTube. So we got all of the things. We got all the things, all the places, all the peoples. So we got all of them. Like I said, I think I see about like 60 of you on YouTube right now. Roberto, do you think faceless gaming channels is better than faced? I think it's not an either or. I think it's whichever one makes the creator more confident. Whichever one makes the creator more confident, either or both could be faster to do depending on the creator's workflow and strengths. So I would say that the one is not better than the other unless it's the thing that makes it easier or faster to make content, or the thing that makes the creator more confident in what they're making. Because I use StreamYard, I actually can consolidate and see all the chats and respond to them because I use StreamYard. Some people can do that if they use OBS or Streamlabs or whatever they want to use, Meld, but I use StreamYard for the most part, and it works out fine. His and Her Holy Prayer Room. Yeah, you guys can get a slot if you are looking for one, if you want to submit a super chat. We've got one or two more that we can do. Next up, we have Way of Service. So we have WayOfService. This YouTube channel has 86 subscribers, 75 videos. Biomedical engineer turned conscious researcher bridging ancient wisdom with modern science. Nice. I like it. Branding looks really good. Solid profile picture here. Well done. See, channel layout, videos, shorts, past streams. Probably if you have more videos, I would add 1 or 2 playlists to here before we get to the shorts to kind of balance things out. Let's see how your videos are performing, and let's see these thumbnails. Videos are getting good views for a small channel. Your biggest issue besides consistency in your thumbnail style is your consistency and frequency overall, because you took such big gaps between uploads. So the gaps between uploads are a problem, especially given that it looks like there's video essay, talking head, element stuff here. So again, I would recommend you create a system and format for thinking of this in a way that allows you, if you're going to do talking head informational videos, you should probably be uploading 2 to 3 videos a week, every single week without fail, to grow this channel. For your shorts here, these are not doing terrible, but let's see. These are not doing terrible. They're hit or miss for you. If you're going to do shorts, I would do them in bulk. I would sit down, film multiple shorts back to back, and then schedule them for release. So I would do that. I don't know if your niche, it makes sense to go as aggressive as 3 to 5 a day. You could probably get away with doing 1 a day, but if you're not going to do 1 short a day, it may not even make sense for you to do YouTube shorts, to be honest with you, for your niche. And again, for your niche, the frequency you need to be uploading with is probably 2 to 3 times a week as a minimum for you. And you need to plan these out in thematic videos. You need to plan out thematic videos for these. And again, to make the production easier, you shouldn't worry about over editing these, and you should try to do most of this in the recording phase. Again, maybe record directly into OBS for some of it, set some scenes up. Then you can still do editing in this, because it looks like you do use and utilize B-roll. So again, you could plan some of that out. But again, it doesn't need to be extreme when it comes to this for the information you're getting. Consider even using more of the approach of Tom Bellew. If you want to do this type of thing, you could do the Tom Bellew approach. Another thing you could do is you could literally just do this as a daily live to tape show stream, because it looks like you've done that in the past. If you stream this as a live to tape style show, and then you just clip from the show, you could put out videos, multiple videos even, every day, and just clip the segments of the show. You could probably also get some shorts out of that, but you probably should do some direct shorts. But again, you would benefit from a streaming to content pipeline with this, and branding it almost as a podcast, really. So again, closer to the Tom Bellew Modern Wisdom pipeline. Also, it would benefit from individual thumbnails. You can use a template, but again, individual thumbnails. Stylistically, the thumbnails can be better. I don't think, and multiple poses, if you're going to use your face, multiple facial expressions, that sort of thing. So I do think it could use a facelift. But again, I think you'd benefit from studying both Tom Bellew and Modern Wisdom, and putting yourself somewhat in that position with everything that you're doing, at least from a, and then also from a production standpoint, you'd probably benefit from the OBS strategy and breaking it up and then doing it that way, and getting long form and short segments out of it, as well as cultivating a captive audience. Probably would keep you consistent, and then you wouldn't have these massive breaks in between your uploads. But again, it's not a bad start. There clearly is a desire for the content. Your biggest problem is you're not meeting the demand with the supply. Your supply is not meeting the demand, and I would argue it's your biggest problem. And then beyond that, I think some of it's a branding issue of the fact that, I'm going to be honest, the thumbnails here are a 1 out of 5 to a 2 out of 5 at best. If you can make the thumbnails better, that would probably be one of the most important things you could do besides increasing the upload frequency and cadence here. So, yeah, those would be the things you would probably need to work on the most. But other than that, I think this has potential. I don't think it's off to a bad start. But what do you guys think? Do you agree with me, disagree with me on WayOfService? Again, I think the potential's there. I think there's an audience there. I think supply is not meeting demand, and I don't think it's even close. I do think that the OBS pipeline is the right answer for this, even from a talking head video standpoint. And even if there is going to be some editing and some ad B-roll, it could always come later, and you could do the initial live to tape show and get like 80% of the video done, and then do the polish to the last 20%. So that would be what I would be thinking for this sort of channel. So those would be my thoughts. Nomadic Gaming Guild, we'll let you get into the last slot. You'll be the last one that we do. But yeah, but that's it. Tell me what you guys think in the comments if you're watching the replay. Let me know in the chat if you're watching live. So yeah, we got his and her holy hour prayer room next, and then if Nomadic Gaming Guild wants to submit a super chat, that'll be the last one that we do tonight, and then we will call it a night because we are closing in on midnight here. So we will not finish before midnight, and I have no problem with that. We're just not going to go super late tonight. I don't even think my voice is holding up. So yeah, WayOfService, the OBS strategy is you would live stream and record your live stream using OBS Studio or Streamlabs or StreamYard or whatever you want to use. And you would stream live and do a morning show or an evening show, and you would have multiple segments in it. Like, you know, cover 3 to 5 things you want to talk about, all with a theme, mind you. And you would do that, and you do it basically like a podcast. Then you take that and you have the recording from it in full quality on your computer from the tool OBS or from using StreamYard or using whatever tool you want to use after you've done your live stream. Then you're cutting those segments up. If you want to edit them some more, you can, and then you post those, and then you're getting multiple videos out a day or daily videos. You also can then also reformat those or clip them using a tool, and then you can get shorts out of those as well from your best sound bites or best hot takes or best info dumps or what have you. So that would be the strategy. Hey everybody, we changed our name from His and Her Holy Hour podcast and rebranded our channel to just the prayer niche. Yeah, I thought that might be the case. Yeah, Dr. Renee Walker, come back next week and we'll try and get you next week. Let's see. So we have His and Her Holy Hour Prayer Room. This is rebranded from His and Her Holy Hour podcast, who's done a channel review before. #1 destination for daily prayer, for morning prayer, live prayer streams, etc. Okay. Let's see the videos here. Again, good branding, solid branding here. Thumbnails are good. I'm gonna give these thumbnails maybe a 3 out of 5 or 4 out of 5. This reminds me a little bit about how ASMR style channels work. The issue here that you're running into is, even though you're aggressively leaning into this and this has potential and the thumbnails are good, is it's not what the audience is used to and has expected, I think, in the past, but we'll see. Also, these are shorter than the ones that used to perform for you, but we'll see what's going on with that. Let's see the lives and see how the lives are doing. The lives are doing extremely well. So again, the clipping from this, the clipping strategy for you guys could be hit or miss for now, but the live streams are doing extremely well. And the live stream thumbnails, again, about 3 out of 5, 4 out of 5 on the thumbnails here. Extremely good views on these live streams. Very smart. And you're doing these daily, basically daily. Extremely good views there. Shorts. Shorts are actually working for you really well. I'm not sure how many shorts you guys are doing per day here, but if this is what you're doing and it's working, if you're not doing 3 to 5 of these shorts per day, I would move to doing 3 to 5 of these shorts per day, because this is working. So if this is working this well, I would go 3 to 5 shorts per day for this. For sure. The daily live streams are working. So the only thing that you're coming up short on is these individual videos. And the thing is, even with these individual videos, this might just be a give it time, and these might do well in terms of evergreen views. The thumbnails are good. The titles seem solid. And for regular videos, in the past, what worked for you was these long form, but that's moved over to just being the live streams, and the live streams are doing better for that format. So you've taken what used to work for the regular videos, which was just extremely long prayer videos, and you've turned those into the live streams, and the live streams have gotten thousands of views and are over indexing, and they're winning. So I wouldn't change anything on that strategy, because you're winning, and your real bread and butter is the live streams and it's the short form. We can hope for the individual videos to do better over time. However, I think that if you go to 3 to 5 of the shorts prayers per day, that will absolutely have growth and take off, because it's getting a really, really solid response right now. Like, these are good numbers. And so just having 3 to 5 of these in output a day will drastically increase those numbers a lot more rapidly too, especially when you have some of them will be outliers, like this one with 23K views or 13K views and so on and so forth. So you'll want to do that. The live stream's already working. In terms of these videos, even if you improve the individual videos thumbnails, I don't necessarily think that will be the answer. I think that for these, you just have to give it a little bit more time. Because these thumbnails, there's not really something specifically wrong with them. So I would just give them more time and keep doing it. But your bread and butter of what is working is this approach to live streaming. Very smart, solid here. And I would just drastically increase the shorts performance by doing the 3 to 5 uploads of the shorts per day with this. So I don't think there's any quality over quantity answer that makes these edited shorter prayers perform better. I think you just have to give them more time and traction to find the audience, because it also is a pivot from you versus what you were doing months ago. So again, just continue to give that more time. The primary audience is the shorts and live stream audience. So again, that's the benefit. Playlist. Playlists are mostly fine. You can add a playlist based on types of prayer or what they're praying for. Consolidate what you'd be praying for. So you could consolidate that in terms of these. Another suggestion is For the videos, maybe if the videos are 1 hour prayers, that would perform better if they're literally 1 hour prayers and that fills up a spot for people. That consider that that could work. You could even just bundle the videos and edit them together and make an hour-long prayer session and see if hour-long prayer sessions perform in addition to individual singular prayers here. These singular prayers, I don't think you stop doing them, but I would consider putting together an hour-long mixtape, basically, of prayers for anxiety, prayer for forgiveness, prayer for protection, and that could work. But yeah, for the playlist thing, I would just consolidate. Yeah. For my music channel, I found that individual tracks would underperform, but hour-long loops of the tracks or even hour-long compilations and 2 to 3 hour mixtapes would overperform, whereas individual solo tracks would underperform. So I would argue that this could be similar because it's primarily audio consumer versus video consumer. That would be why. So I think of it in that way. Yeah. Solid channel overall, solid pivot for you guys. Probably much easier to produce content, and it seems to be performing, to be honest with you. So those are my thoughts around his and hers Holy Hour Prayer Room. Again, really solid pivot here. I think a really great opportunity between shorts, live streams, and I think extending this to literally hour prayer sessions could be a really good build out here. So, and again, playlist for the types of prayers. But those would be my thoughts on this. But what do you guys think? Do you agree with me? Disagree with me? Let me know in the comments. And if you're live, let me know in the chat. But again, I think that this is a solid pivot from the podcast format. It leans into the strengths. It's easier to produce. It's easier to be consistent at. I think that the monetization strategy around this is also better. And I think that there's an opportunity for this with the short form based on the performance we see. If it goes 3 to 5 of that short form per day, I think it absolutely does gangbusters if it does that. So those would be the changes that I would make. I think the branding is good. I think the visual presentation is some of the best we've seen tonight. So again, if you guys have other thoughts or you would do something differently, let me know in the comments or in the live chat. Boom. Yep. Solid. Benji, Travis in the house. What's up, my friend? And Benji says, go long, absolutely 100%. Yeah, I agree. That's the thing I'm thinking. Totally Toasty. What's up? Hey, Roberto. I want to put out more videos, but I'm constantly worried about keeping the same quality to keep good views. Should I focus more on quality or quantity? A lot of you are getting this wrong. Views don't come from quality. Views come from value. They come from packaging. Views are topic, title, thumbnail, and timing, not how much you edit a video or don't edit a video. Also, from a quality standpoint, quantity doesn't hurt you if the quality for production, for example, is same light, same camera, same awesome host, same great audio from the mic. How's the quality go down with quantity? It doesn't go down with quality. Quality is not sacrificed for quantity in that thing. The only time that quality would be sacrificed for quantity is if somehow, some way, you're doing a niche that requires intensive research or intensive production. If you're not doing intensive research or production, then the quality doesn't suffer. Again, remember, commentary channels do not suffer on the quality versus quantity equation. Neither do channels that are based on gameplay. Views are driven by how good your title and thumbnail is, not your quality. We see that over and over, and you've seen this enough with your own content, your own stuff. Even with the reviews on this channel, you've all seen it. Without anyone losing any of the quality on their videos, the only thing that decides how many views they get is topic, title, thumbnail, and timing. So you guys are overthinking quality. You guys have worked 10 hours on a video and gotten less views than a video you spent 20 minutes on. So again, I don't know why we still believe in quality over quantity when working harder on something has never guaranteed that it produces a better result. The value for the viewer and the taste of the viewer. the taste of the viewer and the value for the viewer, and usually viewers value consistency more than anything. If people want to see the highest quality content, they're going to watch a 1 million subscribe YouTuber. I'm going to be real with y'all. I'm going to be absolutely dead honest with you guys. You're worried about quality over quantity. The guarantee that anyone has of quality, they're just going to watch a 1 million or 10 million subscriber channel in your niche if that's what they're worried about. Most of you can't compete on quality. What you should compete is on value first, and then quality second, and consistency always. And the thing is, value and doing volume and bulk of value is usually better. You almost have no hope of making something twice as good, but you could give me 2 or 3 of something I already like. So a lot of you are stressing out way, way too much. Do you know what the true one where quantity could hurt quality was? Is if you are exhausted and overworking, then that could be a thing. But also some of you are overworking and over editing and over producing things when people want. Do you realize right now that the thing people really hate is they hate over editing, and what they want is authentic content? It doesn't mean be lazy, it doesn't mean be sloppy, but people really care more if you're putting effort into communicating well, you're putting effort into a really good thumbnail, you're putting effort into the structure of the video so that you're not yapping too much and there's a point to things and you're getting to it. They would prefer that. People do not really care about fancy editing, and when they want it, they will just watch a guaranteed video from a 1 million to 10 million subscriber channel if that's what they care about, because that's who can provide it guaranteed. They do not expect that from everybody else, and it's not the most important thing. So like sometimes working harder is not a guarantee. That's why I don't really believe in the quality over quantity. I think there's exceptions to that, but most YouTubers don't benefit there. I'll be honest with you. Quality over quantity matters if your skill level is so bad that you would produce absolute garbage, or if you're in a very low barrier to entry niche like gaming. A lot of people will say quality over quantity because otherwise people upload slop. There's a difference. If you know you're not uploading slop, if you know you're not uploading like something that's extremely poorly made, poorly produced, poor audio, no thought and attention to detail, rambling, no structure. If you were making content like that, then yeah, you need to up the quality and do less quality and not do bulk trash, sure. But bulk doesn't equal trash. That's the thing that people do not understand and is not communicated. And people make the assumption that if you do a lot of something, you can't do it well, but that's not true. It just depends on what it is and what your initial skill level walking into it is. There are some people who can make something really well and they can do it back to back 50 times and they can do it faster than some people can produce one good result. There are people, they can work all they want, 10 hours on something in Photoshop, and it will not be as good as something I spend 20 minutes on. More effort will not allow them to catch up because of the gap in our abilities and the gap in our experience. A rookie in Photoshop can spend 100 hours on a Photoshop project and I'll beat them in 1 hour. That's the difference in the experience gap and the talent gap. That's why I don't believe that just working harder is the answer. You have to know when it is and when it is not. And again, a small YouTuber can work on a video for 100 hours and not be as good as a YouTuber who's got experience and talent who only puts in 1 hour or has more resources and puts in 1 hour in many cases. So just working harder, trying your heart out, trying to make quality will not always be the answer, because even if you try really hard, can you really compete with something else in the market? And someone might not have had to put in the same effort to get a better result, because they just objectively either have more resources, more experience, or more talent, or more access, or more whatever it is that lets them make something better, or something more in demand, or they understand the audience better, usually due to experience. So again, that's why I don't believe in quality over quantity, because I don't think it's that simple. I think that there are a lot of factors that ultimately determine the outcome of a video. And I think there are a lot of factors that determine how good a video can be. Not just how good a video is, how good a video can be. And working harder on it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be better than what's already out there. And again, better to who? Because our taste can be wrong. Something we think is trash could be gold to the viewer, and something we think is gold could be trash to the viewer. Sometimes we're disconnected from the audience, to be honest. Sometimes we're just out of touch. And that's a hard pill to swallow. Sometimes we do not understand what the viewer values, and we're projecting what we value onto the viewer when the viewer values something very different than we do. That happens sometimes too. And so that's why I don't necessarily believe in quality over quantity. But when I say that, people think I'm arguing for you just posting to post or making trash. I think that people have to understand what is important and where the demand lies. What does the audience have demand for? Supply more of that, and supply it in the quality level that's sustainable, that they will say yes to. Take yes for an answer. If people aren't asking you to make something drastically better, incrementally better, or more consistent, is more than okay, because you take yes for an answer. Benji says, also demand from TV viewership outweighs supply that is available for longer content. You're completely correct. It's about the value to the viewer, not what we think is valuable. Yep, there you go. Benji Travis, everybody. Boom. So yeah, so I mean, again, rant over, but I do think that a lot of times we get in our feelings about what we think is important instead of really looking at and paying attention to what the viewers are telling us is important with their actions, not just the comment section. And yes, Joe is right. If you work at it, your quality is going to improve over time anyway. I agree with that. A lot of you, your surest path to increasing your viewership is most of you are a 1 out of 5 or a 2 out of 5 at making high quality thumbnails and making them intentionally and making them good. And if you have text, making them readable. A lot of you are a 1 out of 5 or a 2 out of 5 on thumbnails. You can learn the skills for that, or you can buy the YouTube starter kit. And in that case, the templates are mostly done for you, and you swap out your images and you swap out your text, because the layout, the typography, the colors, everything is done for you. We have over 100 Photoshop files. You can open up Photoshop files without Photoshop if you use Adobe Express for free. There are other free things that open up those Photoshop files, so you can get the YouTube starter kit. If you can't afford the YouTube starter kit, you can get our creator starter pack. All of that's at awesomecreatoracademy.com. If you really want to do it on your own from scratch, you can watch our free 4-hour thumbnail workshops that we've done here on the live streams by going to the YouTube channel and going to the live tab, and you'll see the archives of the thumbnail workshops. And so we have that for you if you want to try and do it from scratch. But most of you, that's one of your biggest problems. The other problem a lot of you have, and we did a workshop on titles that you can watch as well, is a lot of you are bad at titles. A lot of you are a 1 out of 5, 2 out of 5, rarely a 3 out of 5 on your titles. So that's an issue. A lot of you, because you're spending way too much time in the edits, are missing the timing of releasing your videos in a timely manner. A lot of you cover things that would be news events or a trend you should be tapping into or an update, and you're late. You would have been better off with a lower quality video and early or on time instead of a higher quality video and late. How do we figure out what our viewers value if we aren't getting feedback for our things? You look at what your niche in your domain of thing that you're doing is, and then you can use things like 1 of 10, and you study the outliers and you say, what is the audience already saying yes to? I'll give you a primary example. In business, what I tell people all the time is, all right, let's say you're a graphic designer and you're like, how am I going to get clients, Roberto? Nobody knows me, whatever. I don't know what my clients want. All right, look at who's spending money in your town. If you were a graphic designer, I'd tell you, look at who spends money on advertising. Look at who has billboards. Look who has their ads on a bus sign, on a train stop, on a park bench, and they've done print advertising. They're paying somebody. You now need to be able to have a portfolio of work that shows that you produce something as good or better than that, because that's what a client was willing to pay for. You saw somebody had a budget. What did someone with a budget spend money on? Make something that looks better than that, and now deliver it faster and or cheaper and at equal or higher quality, and you can take that person's business. And if they don't say yes to you, they have 3 competitors in town. I promise you, go to them. So client turns you down. By the way, same thing for brands, for brand deals. I use this analogy to say, okay, there is a successful YouTuber in your niche already. How good are their thumbnails? What would people say yes to? How good are their titles? That's what people would say yes to. You will know what your viewers value in terms of topics, titles, thumbnails, and what is relevant in timing by studying someone who's already successful in your niche. I would find 5 creators that are successful, and I would try to become number 6. And a lot of you will overly worry about, oh, I don't want to steal anyone's title. I want to make something completely original. You have no way to validate whether something completely original is something that the viewer actually values or is in demand of. What you know is if they like this once, then they probably haven't heard everything they could possibly hear about it and are willing to entertain watching it from somebody else as well. So you might as well study 5 successful creators, raise your standards, and become number 6 and understand how to determine value based on that. The other thing you look for is you look for every comment where someone is unsatisfied with what that creator did. And then if you're worried about not copying them, you find every gap in their market, everything that someone's dissatisfied with, upset with, angry with, critical of for that creator, and you fulfill and deliver on all the things that they're not delivering on for all the people they're not delivering on it for. There's usually 10 to 20% of the audience of a creator that are dissatisfied or unfulfilled or want something more or want something different, and you can absorb that market. So those would be the ways that you'd qualify value for the viewer without direct feedback or views on your own content. One quick question, Roberto. What category would my channel be under, or category doesn't make when uploading a video? The categories for YouTube are not the same thing as the niche for content. Again, yours is going to be religion and spirituality. YouTube doesn't have a category for that in the categories tab, but it's a niche that exists. We've mapped over 200 niches for YouTube. So yours is definitely going to be religion and spirituality, but also technically is going to fall under listenable content as a hybrid style of content that you could listen to rather than watch, similar to ASMR channels. So keep that in mind. So yeah, I think that's going to be it for tonight. Again, thank you to everybody for watching. Again, shout out to our friends over at oneof10.com. Make sure you use code Roberto at checkout if you decide to get that tool for 20% off for the life of your account. We showed you how it works here with researching outliers for niches. We've shown you how it can generate titles and thumbnail suggestions. So make sure you're checking out our friends over at oneof10.com. Like I said earlier, make sure you're checking out my book, Create Something Awesome, How Creators Are Profiting from Their Passion in the Creator Economy. If you've already bought the book, please leave me a review in Amazon. We'd love to see 250 reviews in Amazon. I think we're almost to 200 now. So we'd love to see that, get those 5-star ratings up. So I appreciate you there. And also, of course, feel free to look into awesomecreatoracademy.com/join. You're going to learn more about that here at the end of the stream as we close out. But we have the Academy Pro group. We also offer one-on-one coaching with me, with yours truly. And so we do have that available to you as well. We should probably be doing another round of channel reviews next week if you guys want to come back next Friday. So, you know, that is something that we can look at. WayOfService says, I'm going to ask an embarrassing question. What do you think my niche is? Technically, it'd be under the education category, but in terms of what it is technically your niche would be self-help. It'd be spiritual, but it'd also be self-help. That's what I actually think. It has education elements, but it's also spirituality and self-help. So at least that's what my impression of it feels like. But yeah, that's going to be it for tonight's stream. Thank you to all our super chatters. Thank you to our amazing mods. Thank you to Doug Hewson for hanging it down, holding it down. Thank you to Benji Travis for joining us and dropping some solid advice tonight. And so we will see you guys hopefully next week. And stay tuned for more content. When YouTube drops its announcements on Tuesday, I'll be probably doing some regular channel uploads again. But other than that, you guys stay awesome, and we will catch you next week. Take care. Becoming a content creator can be a very lonely process and adventure, but it doesn't have to be. When I first got started going from 0 to 100,000 subscribers, I had to do it all by myself. I didn't have a community of like-minded and like-hearted creators to talk to or to ask for advice, and I certainly didn't have a mentor to guide me along the way. I built the Awesome Creator Academy Pro group because when I was getting started, what would have meant the world to me is not to have to struggle alone when it comes to being a full-time content creator. If I had had a community of creators that I could talk to and share information with, I would have avoided a lot of mistakes in my early career, and there would have been opportunities with brand deals where I would have gotten a better understanding of how to negotiate, and I wouldn't have undersold myself. I wouldn't have been taken advantage of in those early situations. So in the Awesome Creator Academy Pro group, myself and our co-instructor Andy Rivera, we meet twice a week for office hours with our creators, and we share information, we talk about how we're building our creator businesses, and we offer constructive criticism and critique on the things that we're working on for our projects. You'll be part of a community of usually around 100 like-minded creators who are taking this seriously just like you are. You'll also have all access as a pro group member to all of our past, present, and future courses, training, templates, digital downloads, and swipe files. You have full access to our creator blueprints where you'll see our systems and the frameworks that we use to execute. You always fall or rise to the standard of your systems. A lot of people really underestimate how important that is. We have digital download templates that can help you so you don't have to start with a blank canvas. These done for you files are actually incredibly helpful, especially for things like your thumbnails, your media kits, and anything you need for your branding as a content creator to look professional. We have email swipe files that help you with reaching out to brands. We have great information in helping you price yourself and build your packages appropriately. And remember, as part of the pro group, you have the opportunity to ask questions from myself and all the other creators participating. And so this means that if you need to ask questions about negotiation or a brand deal, there's something you're not sure about, you're trying to find a better monetization opportunity with merch or affiliates, you have people who have done it before, who are already making money that you can reach out to for advice. As I said, when I was starting out and I was flying solo, this is the thing that I wish I'd had the opportunity to be a part of, and it would have made all the difference in the world in helping me be an even more successful content creator. If you have questions, you can always reach out via support. We're happy to help you figure out if the pro group is right for you. Also, we do have the opportunity if you become a VIP member, if you also would like quarterly one-on-one coaching with me directly. Now go out there and create something awesome today, and hopefully we'll see you in the pro group. Take care.